Well, hi folks. Saturday into July 18th. Is it the 18th? I think so. Sort of sometimes lose track of days. Trust everybody's well. Thanks for coming back. If you're coming back. If you're new, thanks for stopping in. This weekend it's sort of been interesting. Let's start with Canada. In the description section I'll have a couple of good links by a couple of independent reporters, and one's talking about the first one is he's an ex-retired RCMP officer looking at the Lee scandal, and I'm finding it interesting, and I sort of agree. I think it's time that an RCMP investigation was started on this thing. It's just too crazy. I think, what politicians and bureaucrats and civil servants forget. They get paid, and for the most part, very well, great benefits, great lifestyle. Is there a lot of pressure and work? Of course there is. But they knew that going in. You know that going in. And the thing is, they are there to be servants of the population. I mean, the finance minister and the prime minister, to sort of pass the buck onto someone else, say they didn't really realize what's going on. They're either incompetent, not paying attention to what they're supposed to be paying attention to, or they're stupid. And stupid, I don't think for Morneau would sort of fit in, because the guy's a pretty intelligent guy. I think Trudeau as well. But I think it's time that people said, hey guys, hey bureaucrats, if the bureaucrats made the decision, fire their asses out of there. If the civil servants made that decision, you'd fire their asses out of there. So same with politicians. We don't elect people just to go have a gay old time at the on the public purse and do shoddy work. And with Trudeau and Morneau, this isn't the first time they've sort of messed about. The record sort of shows that, whether it's the Aga Khan, the SEC Lavalin affair, and the question is how many that we don't know. Because these guys can stand up and blatantly just ignore it and not be totally upfront when they're talking about it until it becomes so evident that they have to sort of say, well, yeah, there's something there, and then they come on and give us a crocodile tear apology that just doesn't work anymore. When you're mishandling almost $1 billion, that's not crocodile tears, don't cover that. If that was in the private sector, man, they'd be gone. Or they'd be charged. So let's go west from Ottawa into Alberta. Another link with a young reporter talking about how Notley, they've lost $1.3 million, is it? It's $1 million through a safe injection site that a school teacher was running in Lethbridge. Think about it. So we have the Liberals in Ottawa. Notley was NDP when they were in power. And I'm not saying the Liberals, the left wing, the socialist people have a monopoly on stupidity. Because the Conservatives have done silly things as well. You just have to look at the Conservative leader dipping into the Conservative funds to pay for his kids' education. Where does it end? I think people have to really get serious and remember they were elected to be servants of the public. They're not elected to go be movie stars and be goofballs. Using OPM, other people's money, it's always easy to be a goofball. So then we go down south into the States, into Washington and Oregon. Again, Democratic, leftist, liberal type mayors and governors blaming Washington for their peaceful protests. Are you getting tired of the mainstream media talking about all these peaceful protests? Have you really dug around and looked at what's going on? These aren't peaceful. These are violent thugs. And what in Portland, is it 40 some odd days of violence? And they're calling it peaceful? And when the federal officers look after a federal building, the governors and mayors have the audacity, the stupidity to blame it on Washington and tell them to bugger off. They should move the damn army in there and straighten things up. And if, I don't know, it's like the CHOP. I mean, it was a peaceful protest, all right, and it was all okay until we went up to the mayor's house, and things changed instantly. And I just don't get it. And until people sort of stand up and say, come on guys, enough is enough is enough. We're tired of your manipulation, manipulating us. We're tired of your bullshit. People in the Democratic Party, people who vote Democrat, and I don't think they're all stupid. So I'm thinking there must be waking up by now. And if you vote Democrat just because you voted Democrat all your life and your father voted Democrat, and you're going to vote Democrat no matter what the hell they're doing, do you think that's a brilliant way to go? Yet actually, when you defend stupid, guess what? You look stupid. And to defend the mayor of Seattle, the governor of Washington State, mayor of Portland, the governor of Portland, and sort of concur with them as they blame Trump, it's pure stupidity. I think you have to think, I guess the floods in China are Trump's faults too. I guess that the earthquake out of Tonga was Trump's fault. He pushed a button and caused the earthquake. I mean, how stupid can people be to say everything that happens is Trump's fault, it's Washington's fault? And they don't take responsibility for their own elected officials, their own public servants. Then you go down to California, it's no different. If you look at the hierarchy of the California governorship, I guess old Arnold the bodybuilder sort of broke that a little bit. But it was a whole cabal of acquaintances and wealthy people who sort of have driven that state, I guess, into what? Bankruptcy? It's crazy. But anyway, we have enough going on in Canada as well. So I think people have to say enough is enough. And I don't know. And then once we realize that all the news media, for the most part, are in cahoots with these guys, or in bed with these guys, it's pretty much like that school teacher in Lethbridge losing 1 point in charge of an organization that loses over $1 million, can't account for over $1 million bucks. They paid somebody to run that charitable thing over $200,000 a year. They went to Portugal on think tank trips. Doesn't that really piss you off? Just think, I know in our local government, every now and again they'll send everybody to Harrison Hot Springs or Whistler or some exotic place to do a think tank. Shit, they have the $1 million view in City Hall with meeting rooms and that most people don't have. So why would we have to spend? Why don't you use OPM, other people's money, to go on think tanks and that? It always just drives me nuts. It always drives me nuts. Stay home and do your job, And it's like I say, they're out of control. Not all civil servants, but most bureaucrats and politicians are out of friggin' control. You look at the guy who is fixing your broken water lines. I mean, they're doing an honest day's work and working hard. I mean, it's the upper end where they have 3 or 4 managers in a row because everybody needs to have somebody under them, so you get a corner office. Just drives me nuts. We did have a mayor at one time who tried to address that. They ran him out of town. Other councillors and the people who pull strings and the bureaucrats. It was a disgrace, total disgrace. Oh well, I guess that's just the way it is. Well, take care. Have a good weekend. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.